we get another indication this Saturday with another scrimmage. Of course, point number one, get everybody out of that thing healthy. In regards to any kind of news and notes coming out of that scrimmage, just kind of tightening up a few things, I would think.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because to me, Saturday will mark basically to me, not Will Muschamp, but to me will mark the end of fall camp, because then, 2 weeks from tomorrow is the first game. So I would think that tomorrow's scrimmage is the final opportunity for some players to maybe move into an opportunity to move up the depth chart and play, whether they're a freshman or whether they're fighting for a spot, or to be relegated maybe more to the scout team role. So I think tomorrow's a big scrimmage. What'll be interesting is to see how Will Muschamp approaches it in his post scrimmage press conference, media availability, because we can't see it. So Jake Bentley could go out and be 20 of 20 tomorrow and throw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, and Muschamp could come out because none of us could see it and go, well, Jake Bentley's turning the ball over and the offense is a step behind and we got a long way to go. The defense could give up 500 yards and he could go, defense looks good, we're being physical. We don't know. And so I'll be interested to hear how Muschamp, like his tone tomorrow. He was positive after last Saturday's scrimmage, about as positive as you could be. And again, we didn't see it. Tomorrow, does he go the opposite approach? Is he kind of negative and says, oh, we got a long way to go 2 weeks before the beginning of the season? Because whatever he tells us is just what we got to believe occurred at that scrimmage. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. And Dave Dorn was actually interviewed, the head coach for North Carolina State, was actually interviewed last night, I believe. And one of his comments was essentially, we're paying attention to everything Jake Bentley says because we don't know what kind of offense they're really going to have this year, because Bentley in his second season will be more experienced, will be a better player. We don't know exactly what they're going to show up with in Charlotte. So every time Jake Bentley speaks or Kurt Roper speaks, we're paying complete attention to what they have to say to maybe gain a little insight into what we could see.
Well, it's kind of like those preseason games we kick around in August, and talking about those where everybody wants to watch the first quarter because that's when the starting quarterback and the stars are out there. But at the same time, the most important football is being played at the end of the scrimmage or at the end of the preseason game, when those guys are vying for spots that are going to be key, whether it's getting any kind of playing time on special teams, or it's moving from a special teams player to a spot as a backup outside linebacker or something like that. That is very key for a football team, especially like this, that's looking for depth, looking for guys after that front line player that can step up and be a force, and somebody who's not going to be embarrassed, somebody who's going to be able to spot a starter and not give up big plays.